Today we are here at the BKB manufacturing facility. I've had quite a bit of questions about what post and rail look like. What it is, any western red cedar that doesn't make lumber gets brought out to this facility here. Take all the bark off, all the rot off, split product into basically for posts is 18 inches in girth all the way around. And for rails, it's 12 inches. We'll get into the rails in a bit, but I want to concentrate a little bit on our posts and what different types of posts we do manufacture here. So we basically manufacture two different heights of fencing. We got a 5'4" post, and then we have a 6'6" post. Clay ground, you want to go about 2 feet into the ground. So the 5'4" will give you basically 3.5 foot height to your top rail. The 6'6" will give you basically 4.5 feet above ground for your top rail. And above the rail, it'll basically about 6 inches of the post is what is sticking out. Okay, so we got 5'4" and we got 6'6". Okay, and then in between the rails is basically about 10 inches difference. Okay, so you're going to have a 3.5 foot fence. Top rail is going to be exactly 3.5 feet from the ground with 2 feet buried into the ground. And then you're going to have about 6 inches of post sticking out, and you're going to have 10 inches between your top rail and your bottom rail. Okay, so we basically have 3 types of posts on each category. So the first one here is a line post. So just a continuous fence. One rail is going to fit on this side. The other rail is going to fit on this side, and that's why they call it a line post, because it's going to be a continuous line. And the holes, as you can see, are drilled right through the post. If you have a 90-degree or a 45-degree angle, you're going to use a corner post. So this one here, as you can see, the holes don't go all the way through. You can't see, right? But they do drill them 90 degrees. Okay, so now these ones here, once you put a rail in, they do have a little bit of play in the rail, so you can go around a little bit of a bend or a 45, and definitely meant for 90-degree corner. So these ones are called corner post. The other ones are called line post. Okay, and then the third one we have is an end post. When you're at the end of a fence line and you don't want a hole sticking on the other end of it, is basically the holes only go halfway on there, and there's no holes in all the other 3 corners there. And the only other component is a rail. So a rail is basically either 10 feet long or 8 feet long, 12 inches in girth. And then what it has is a tenon put on the end of it. You're gonna see that is basically 3 inches by 1.5 inches. And then these tendons basically fit in to the holes in the post. So here we have a corner or an end post. Put the post down 2 feet in the ground, take your rail, put it in nice and tight, snug, and that's the end of your post, and you don't see that. See the rail sticking out of it. Gives you a really good finish. Now, if you have a corner post or 2 rails, you come into a corner, you're going to put a rail on one side and a rail on the other side, and then that'll be your 90-degree corner, and then you're not going to see the rail end sticking out on the other end of it. Then the only other one you have is a line post, which your fence line is going to go continually going forward. You're going to stick a rail in there, and then you're going to stick the other rail on the other side, and it's going to go in a continuous line. So you got a 5'4" 2-rail fence, 6'6" 3-rail fence. I hope all this information helps. If you have any other questions or concerns, just reach out to us and we'll help you out whatever we can. Thanks.